spirit of our ancestors, a celebration of the spirit of community that has brought us this far, especially after the last few years, and the last year in particular. So this procession is all about recognizing our collective humanity. It's about recognizing the spirit where we come from. This is a spirit that is all about persevering. It's a spirit of that's all about understanding that you only get one shot at this life thing. So you want to try to be the best person that you can be. You want to try to put forward the best spirit that you can be. And we can only really do that through communion. The last time we did an ancestral procession was last year, and it was to celebrate Juneteenth, before it was a national holiday. And so this year, I wanted it to be about community, because that seemed to be the one thing that I know a lot of folks in my community were reaching for after the last 5 years in general, but particularly after the last year. Who are we and what we're made of is so much more than the small differences that keep us separated. When you think about the perseverance of the human spirit, and that's a word that I use a lot, perseverance, right? Because it means to want to keep going. It means to want to keep pushing. It means to want to keep thriving. But the only way to do that is to be together. Yeah? And so that's what this is about. It's literally about walking together and singing together and talking together and sharing our stories together. Being together as people and remembering why. It's so important that we never forget. We never forget that all of us are on various, we're all on different versions of the same journey, from cradle to grave. And the time that we have is so precious. So why spend that time figuring out and finding out the things that can keep us separated, the things that can keep us divided? We have to look to the spirits of those who came before us to teach us that, well, I guess I already said it, that unity requires compassionate honesty, that spiritual nourishment is this way. And as you see, our table is set with food. Now this is traditional Juneteenth food, but it's not food that you can eat. So why do we have a table? Why are we asking you to come commune with us with food that you can't eat? Because that food becomes a metaphor to remind us that it takes more than physical food to feed us. That bread in and of itself isn't alone. Part of what we need to nourish ourselves and become the best versions of ourselves is literally what we're doing right now, to be in each other's presence, even if only for a little while, and to carry a little bit of that with us, to remind us, especially when it gets hard, and it does get hard, you know? It's very hard to remember what keeps us together. So this is part of that act of trying. This is something that we can all do, right? To try to see each other as more than just obstacles on the way to whatever we have to do. I gotta go to the store, this person's in my way. Yeah? To remember our common and collective humanity and to just celebrate it for a little while. So I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna sing a song. It's one of my favorite songs, and our ancestors can disrobe their masks. You can take your masks off and be people. One of my absolute favorite songs, which I did learn in the Black church, but I like it because it's not just a church song. It's called This Little Light of Mine. And the lyric is, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine everywhere I go. And that's gonna be the first verse, and then we're gonna sing the second verse, and it's gonna be all in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.